Welcome to the Basic Retirement Planning for 50-something Women webquest. In this video, I will provide you with the ins and outs on how to determine your financial health. Okay, so now you may be wondering, why do I need to watch a video on my financial health when all I want to do is learn the basics of retirement planning? Well, to be honest, a lot of women who suddenly find themselves single again or having to re-enter the workforce due to life's circumstances at 50-something need to circle the wagons before heading out to the new frontier. In other words, before one dives into the basics of retirement planning, one must first determine where you are at now, both in terms of finances and in terms of resources. So let's begin with a few basic questions like, how much do you know about your finances today? Have you ever compared your monthly income to your expenses? Have you ever developed a monthly budget and then put it into action successfully? If you answered yes to all of these questions, then you are ready to start the webquest. If you answered no to any of these questions, then let's move on to developing your personal balance sheet. A personal balance sheet is a statement of your financial position on a given date. It lists your assets that you own, the debt or liabilities you have, and other factors concerning your personal financial health. So let's take a closer look at the assets category. Under here, you would list the balance of your checking and savings account, any cash that you may have on hand, and your balance for your money market accounts. In terms of investments, if you have any stocks, mutual funds, or bonds, you'd want to determine their value for that given date. For retirement plans, you'd also want to find out what the balance is for your IRAs, your 401k, your 403bs, or your pension. In terms of housing, you'd want to go ahead and determine your fair market value for your house, or your cottage, or your manufactured home, or co-op apartment. The same is true for your automobiles. You would need to determine the fair market value for your automobile. In terms of personal property, you'd come up with an estimate for the value of your furniture, your appliances, any jewelry you have, and your TV. The other assets subcategory would involve things like personal loans. Once you have all those figures together, you would add them all together, and that would be the figure for your total assets. Now let's look at liabilities or debt. Current debt is anything that you can pay off in less than 1 year. So if you have any bills on hand, utility bills, things like that, or credit card debt, that would also be included at this point. In terms of long-term debt, then those are the type of debts that you have to have paid off in more than 1 year, or you have more than 1 year to pay it off. This would involve a mortgage, of course, land contracts, automobile loans, and other debts such as bank loans, installment loans, and loans you may have taken from your 401ks. Then you'd go ahead and add all your debt together and come up with your total debt. Once you have your total assets figure and your total debt figure, then you'd go ahead and subtract your total debt from your total asset, and you'd come up with your net worth. Once you determine your net worth, you may discover that it's in fact negative. A lot of people these days, once they go through a major life change, do in fact have a negative net worth. Nonetheless, it is good to know where you stand. For one thing, it could tell you that one of the things you need to work on is to pay down debt. Another thing it can tell you, perhaps, is that maybe you need to reduce your spending. This is exactly what a budget is for. In the next video, I will tell you how to set up a budget, one that will increase your overall net worth. In closing, if you wish to learn more about how to determine your fair market value for your house or home or your automobile, please see the resource section of this website.